I want to talk about viral and candidates, and can a viral social media world turn into actual votes to make a difference? To the audience, there was a man named Travis Allen who proved that social media energy alone does not substitute for old school organizing. He built his whole campaign around social media out of necessity. He became relevant. He built his core foundation around social media. He became a player in the race for governor. It was him and John Cox for the Republican side, and obviously Gavin Newsom for the Democrat side. So Gavin Newsom was always going to win that one spot. So they were fighting it out for the second spot. It wasn't even he wasn't able to translate the social media world to go out and vote for him. He showed that you can have a strong viral campaign, but they don't always translate the votes. That was 2018. It's been 8 years since then. Obviously, Spencer Pratt is much, much stronger than Travis Allen ever was. That said, nobody knew who this cat was 6 weeks ago.
Mhm.
Now a good chunk of the nation, much less Los Angeles, knows who he is. So he's much stronger than Allen's social media presence ever was. But the same problem applies. If the campaign mostly creates shares, reactions, and headlines, it can still fail to create the actual turnout needed to win. So the real question is whether viral politics can become a cost effective vote getting system, or whether it just becomes a great way to get noticed.
Does it just become entertainment?
Yeah, exactly. So Allen ran as California's Trump and built a big online following, but the buzz stayed mostly online. So what does this data says? The data for social media, I had to search this out. Social media can move some votes, but not enough to matter by itself. It sounds obvious, but nobody's really researched that data. There's not a lot of data out on that because it's a tough thing right now. It's still in its early stages. People say Obama was the master. No, he wasn't. Trump was probably the first master of social media. And it wasn't even Trump. He was a 70-year-old man. Then it was his campaign manager. Spencer Pratt is arguably the first politician as a politician along with his team to completely understand the importance and know how to use social media. So the question is whether it moves enough ballots for him to actually get in the top two. It's not how many people see the content, it's how many people actually change their vote, and then at what cost to change each vote, because social media does cost money. So Pratt does fit this mode. His homelessness and Palisades fire videos, well, they travel very well because they're short, emotional, and they're easy to share. Not only does LA relate to it, all of California, and yes, the whole nation, because those fires were some of the most devastating in our history with today's technology, videos, social media. We all saw how devastating they were. So that gives him real attention. But attention is still not the same as a vote machine. So does viral reach actually buy a winning campaign, or is it just an attention getter? You chimed in earlier, Annette. Your thoughts. What do you say it is?
Well, an attention getter is a really good thing. The great thing about his videos is there are substantial points he's making, as he's also making it fun and clever and catchy and memorable. Memory is really important here. People will remember those videos, but he's also highlighting real issues. I think they are going to go further than a lot of other. It's more than just fun because the way he's doing it, he's inserting truth that resonates inside. These things are really happening. These are real problems. Yeah, he's making fun of it. I think that is evoking memory. I think people will remember these videos. They're highlighting the real issues that are happening right now in LA.
Correct, but you didn't answer the question. Can he win the election? You know who he is because of social media. The world knows
Sure.
who he is. LA knows who he is because of social media. Is that enough to get one of the top two spots?
I think it is. I think we're in a different world.
Could
I think
be.
I think in a world 5 years ago even, maybe not. I think in today's world, it's already a part of my consciousness, maybe in a way I'm not even realizing it or
Could be.
acknowledging. What I'm saying is even 5 years ago, maybe not. You know what? Mandani had some memorable videos too, actually. Sorry to say, but he did. They're using that more and it's gaining traction and it has more potential for working now than it did before.
That's the only point I disagree on. I
Okay.
can't remember one video. I think he had some good videos, but I think he had a machine in place.
Yeah.
Pratt doesn't have that machine. Mamdani has that machine in place, and that's the big difference. He had a lot of money. I think it could be a little too late. Gee,
Oh,
your thoughts here?
I will say Obama did well with the social media, but he had an intense ground game. He had a really good ground game.
Yes.
And fast forward to 2016 with Trump. Trump that was totally a you might downplay maybe it was his advisors. No, him using Twitter was all Trump. That was 100% him. There was no advisor saying, "Hey, you should use Twitter," and then he decides to use it. So he had been tweeting for years before then. I would say that that whole election was a fluke. I think that was a middle finger to the establishment.
Yes.
But let's fast forward to 2024 because Trump ran again and he's using Twitter and he's using social media, but he had an extremely good ground game this time. He ran up the margins in Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. So I say all that because Spencer Pratt is more like 2016. He's running on social media and let's not just say
Point.
social media, but AI. He's using AI and he's using these people's faces to make funny videos, but highlighting a real problem. This is going to be more like 2016, at least in the primary and maybe hopefully in the general. He'll pull off an upset with enough people going, yeah, you know what, Spencer, you have a point. This place is screwed up.
Right, right. I'll only disagree with you on one point is saying Trump knew social media. The analogy I see to that is just because you know how to drive a car doesn't mean you can fix the car and you can be a mechanic of the car. You pretty much can drive it and put gas in it. Trump learned how to use Twitter because it was so easy. That was it. He knew
Yeah.
nothing else. He was like a wild man. And that was Trump in 2016. In 2024, he had the equivalent of Obama's machine. Not as good on the ground, but everything else was much better. He had a machine behind him because they took those 8 years and he figured out and got Susie Wiles and some smart people who understood. Let's be honest. On social media, Trump can lose as many votes as he gains now.
Well, what I will say is that the thing about Trump's tweets and Spencer Pratt's videos is he's talking directly to people. There's no
Yes,
filter of the LA Times and the New York Times. He's talking directly to you, and you know that there's authenticity there. This is what he believes without the filter. And all these videos that he's making, just watch them. And not only do they captivate you because they're entertaining, but then you're trying to understand all the little nuances. They
correct,
switch from
correct.
one scene to the other, and you're like, let me watch that again. So it has rewatchability, which is interesting.
First.
Pratt looks strong. He looks like he's in command. He's speaking truth to power, and he calls him out. He's running for a job, but he doesn't care about the job. He cares about fixing LA. That's how it comes across.
Okay, I'm going to come back to you. Annette, your thoughts with your campaign manager's hat.
he's passionate. He's authentic. He's completely believable in what he's saying. You can tell that he's not trying to bullshit you.
Your thoughts on his actual content. Did he get his point across? Because the only downside, and this is a very minor point, people are going to call it passion, but he's controlling his anger. He's angry and he's
Right.
saying what he truly believes in. Your thoughts on the debate content?
He's infuriated, and he should be. I think the one area, even in the governor's debate, that everyone did the poorest on was homelessness. They just don't nail it because they want to have compassionate hearts.
Okay. So what did he get right?
So what he does is he actually nails the problem. He said 93% of these people, they don't want a bed. They want fentanyl. They want their drugs. You're solving the problem. Well, that's what he said. He's actually speaking the truth. I think he's speaking the truth. I think he's making sense. I think he's actually talking about the problem for what it is.
Gee, your thoughts on the content? I thought one of the most important points was 400 million for what? 3,000 beds? Are you kidding me? He should have paused on that. But your thoughts on the content of what he said?
Okay, here's what you do when you go viral. Because, yeah, he's talking fast. He has a time limit. When you go viral, you're saying something like, oh, yeah, she can go down there, but she's going to get stabbed in the neck. Wait, what did he just say? Let me rewind that. And you rewind it 3 or 4 times, and then you hear it, and then someone else replays it. And people go, well, that's true. How many beds do they have? And how many millions of dollars have we spent? is what he's saying true? People in the back of their minds, except for the really radical socialists, they go, I think that's true. A lot of homeless people are just families, but they quickly get out of homelessness within a year. The ones who are homeless year after year after year after year under the overpass, that's what Spencer Pratt's talking about. That's where he's
Right,
right.
right.
And people know that's right.
I guess the best analogy, he played the role of exposing the wizard in in the Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah. And he's like coming in like, I'll take the
say,
job and actually fix things.
hey everybody, this is William del Pilar, founder of Grumblings Media, and I want to say thank you for watching our content. If you want to support our all-volunteer efforts at Grumblings Media, smash the subscribe button right here. 100% free, and please consume and share our great content. Click either one of these two boxes for more of our work.